is The Miller's Edge with Christian Miller, two-time national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants, and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is The Miller's Edge.
And welcome into this Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are having a great start to your Friday, to your weekend. Lot of fun talk to dive into today, man. And it's just beware, guys. It might venture out a little bit past the college level, but here's why. Here's the kicker. NFL preseason action is here, and I'm sure if you guys are like me, you just like football in general, man. It's just nice to have football back. You probably turned it on last night, and you got to see a couple Alabama guys making some plays out there. Probably most notably, Jalen Milroe making his NFL debut last night with the Seattle Seahawks, coming in that second half, technically leading them to a draw, right? We'll talk a little bit about his first performance with the Seahawks. They face the Raiders. You got Pete Carroll facing his former team. I'll say this much, Chase. Now I heard them interviewing Sam Darnold on the sideline, just talking about the atmosphere. Man, that was impressive. I mean, I was listening to the crowd through the TV, just like, wow, like the 12th nation, 12th man, whatever. They showed up for that game. But it makes sense, though, right? Pete Carroll coming back to his old stomping grounds. But nonetheless, man, really fun game to watch. Obviously, really cool to see Jalen Milroe take some snaps. I want to dive into just my impressions watching last night. We'd love to get y'all's impressions, too. I know everybody is probably waiting to see what's Jalen Milroe going to do, and it's going to be no different tonight. You've got Shedeur Sanders taking on my Carolina Panthers, and he's actually going to get the start. So a lot of people tuning into that. I get it's preseason. I get, most of the guys playing, aren't really going to make these teams. Some will be on practice squad. Some of them will hang up their path for good. But football's back, man. It's just fun to watch it. And it was worth staying up a little bit late, man. I was just really excited to see Jalen out there. Josh Jobe made some plays, had an interception, I believe, in the first half. So just nice to have some football back. And I did try to catch some of the Eagles game, but nowadays, guys, I'm sure you feel my pain. You literally have to have like 5 different subscriptions to be able to watch all the NFL games. And so I only have Hulu Live, so I was watching what it showed. And then I think the Eagles game, I saw like highlights from it while it was going on. But then like after the Seattle game, I think they played the Eagles game. So I saw like the first couple parts of it. I didn't really get to watch that one. I might go back and just watch it for the hell of it. Just ain't got nothing better to do, right? Football's back, and it's always fun just to kind of go back, watch. From my perspective, doing broadcasting and stuff like that, I always like watching different defenses, offenses too. But really, I like focusing on those defenses, seeing what a lot of people are calling, what they're getting to. It's always fun. So might go back and watch that here in a little bit. But that being said, we will dive into a little preseason talk. We'll continue to talk training camp. Again, day 8 in the books. And the big news is tomorrow is the first scrimmage, Chase, which everybody's been counting down the days for. We'll be in the stadium. I think it was this spring. They were doing some scrimmages actually on the practice fields, which is definitely new to me. I've never seen that before. But they will be back in the stadium according to the schedule. So looking forward to seeing those guys take the field first, kind of game-like action for this football team. So we'll have a little bit of a gauge on where everything stands, and looking forward to doing that. Plus, looking forward to talking with you guys. It's Free For All Friday. 205-342-9904 is the number. Also want to get to a quick little video from Greg McElroy. He went over his top 10 college football teams. I'll play his snippet on Alabama. He gave his thoughts, and you get to hear where he has Alabama ranked. And maybe we'll take a look at the snippets he said. He talked about, not to spoil it, but he also had Georgia, LSU. I believe those were and Texas in his top 10. So maybe we'll hear his thoughts on those teams as well throughout the show. We have a little bit of time. Per usual, got to remind you about our friends over at the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Try before you buy. You've got nothing to lose. Make sure you guys go check them out right now. Midtown Village is where you can find them. Here in Tuscaloosa, right there off of McFarland Boulevard. They've got those arch supports that are designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you name it. Make sure you guys check them out. Let them take care of you just like they take great care of me Again, that's the Good Feet store. If you're not around here, no worries. They've got them all over the country. Goodfeet.com. You can find more information and the nearest location to you. Again, that is the Good Feet store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. We got to hit our first time out here. We come back. We'll probably go ahead and dive into a little bit of that preseason talk about Jalen Milroe. I'm curious, again, what y'all's thoughts were if y'all stayed up and watched that game. Again, him getting his first NFL snaps. And I'll just go ahead and say it, man. He looked pretty solid to me, man. I was impressed with his first game in the NFL. We'll talk about that when we come back after this quick timeout right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We'll be right back. What's up, guys? Who we got in here? Kenji, what's up? Good afternoon. Justin, what's going on, man? Yeah, he did solid. He looked really good. Honest, especially for a first game, man. Normally you got first game jitters, a lot of stuff going on. But he made some nice plays in the game. I mean, he looked really good. Yeah, that's right. Oots as well. Oots had his first catch. He was in there early, so I mean, I'm assuming he's probably going to get some good snaps this season. I mean, I would imagine if he was playing early in the game like that. Plus, I don't know. I mean, in the NFL, I mean, you can only have like one fullback, so I mean, he's probably going to be implemented a good bit. Mike, what's up, man? Roll Tide. Jalen Milroe will eventually be a franchise quarterback. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, I know it's way too early to tell. I mean, it's hard to say this. After one preseason game, time will tell. But I'll just say, I mean, I fully, believe in his abilities. I just feel like literally, I mean, he's just got a skill set that's just so unique that if he's in the right, right system with the right coaches, they can help, develop him right in some key areas. Man, I mean, he has a chance to be really, really, really good. And I think you saw glimpses of that last night. I mean, for all the people that say he can't throw short intermediate routes, again, I mean, he's just doing it last. I mean, he can do those things, man. Does he need to work on, speeding some things up here and there? And, still, probably, yeah, there's probably a little actually consistency there, here and there. But to make it seem like he just can't do it, I mean, it's silly. I mean, he looked confident. He did a good job. Let me see what his stats were. Not that it really matters, but I'll tell you, I mean, really, but that offense, it's amazing what an offense will do, man. I mean, they ran the ball effectively, which helped set them up. They made them comfortable, just getting them some of those easy completions. All the same crap that me and my dad said we needed to do. I mean, that's literally all. I mean, quick little, hitches, curls, stick routes, easy 5-yard completions, tight ends, just like we used to talk about. Work some boots in there, move the pocket. We saw that. Had a nice throw on the run. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. I guess we'll kick things off with a little preseason talk. Last night, Jalen Milroe took the field, had his first NFL action against the Las Vegas Raiders. And Chase, I thought he looked pretty solid, man. Did you stay up? Did you get to watch that game?
Yeah, I almost waited till like 10 o'clock because I got it switched. So thank God someone was like, "Why are you staying up so late?" And I was like, "Oh shoot!" So I saw a little bit of it, but I was impressed. I liked it.
Yeah, no, he looked good, man. He ended up playing the whole second half. He finished 6 of 10 for 61 yards in the air. He ran the ball 3 times for 38 yards, and that included that big 27-yard explosive run where, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chase. I don't know if he shed a couple pounds, you know what I mean? Because he looked a little bit more trim. But when he took off on that run, Chase, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, damn, like he looked even faster than I feel like we've seen him when he was here. But man, I'll just say this, man, I was really impressed. I mean, the command he had for the offense was very solid. I was just talking during the break, man. I feel like they did a really nice job, with the play call and just to get him comfortable. I mean, when you can run the ball effectively like that, which they were doing, I mean, they're running the ball a good bit and doing it effectively. It just set everything else up. Getting him some easy completions. Stick curl routes, quick little dump off passes. Just moving the football down the field. I mean, I thought he looked accurate. Had some really nice throws. Probably highlight one was him rolling out in the pocket on that boot. Throwing on the run, squeezing it in between two defenders. Really nice throw from him there. And then really just getting to see a glimpse of that athleticism, man, when he does end up taking off and running, man. I thought he just looked really solid, really comfortable, confident, and just did a really nice job. He's trying to work that 2-minute drill, leading the team down there. They went for it, and that really wasn't on him. That the play call was just bad there, and really he was trying to squeeze it in there. And yes, he probably could have put it a little bit higher. Maybe gave his guy, not maybe he could have gave his guy a chance of trying to just make a play there, but his back was already to the sideline. He's going to have to back shoulder it, kind of squeeze it in. It would have been weird, but nah, man, I was really impressed, and I was just proud as hell watching him go out there because I'm just telling you guys. I mean, your first time, especially somebody like him with all the pressure on him, right? Everybody always have just been talking about him and everything he did, even when he went down to the Senior Bowl. So I mean, just imagine the pressure he could have been feeling. I know he manages it well, but just think about thinking about all the people just watching, just waiting for you to mess up. But didn't seem like it seemed like he tuned all that out, and he just went out there, was having fun, and did a really nice job. So shout out to him again. Shout out Josh Jobe, came up with an interception earlier in the game. Robbie Oots picking up his first completion. But I think the overall outlook right now for Miller, and I know I saw some Seahawks fan like, all right, he's taking a Darnold spot. I'm like, all right, pump your brakes. Like, this still is preseason, right? And that being said, I mean, he flashed. He looked good. I think he's showing why they decided to draft him. He showed those traits, whether it was, his ability to actually throw the ball, unlike people that think he can't. He threw the ball well, but really just that explosiveness, man. I mean, once he continues to progress in those other areas, his timing, right, just feeling a little bit more confident with some of those passes. I mean, he has a chance to be really good now. But I would say, let's be a little patient, though. I mean, they signed Sam Darnold for a reason. I mean, I think it'd probably benefit him to take his time with his development. It might sit behind Sam a year, maybe two, as he develops, man. But I do believe in the future, I mean, he's got a chance to be a really good quarterback in this league. I mean, I was just really impressed with it. But you got to do it all again, right? It's not just one showing. You got to, prepare for the next one. I don't know who they got next on their schedule, but I do know it's, once you get that first one in you, man, you're hungry to get back out there, knowing him and his work ethic, man. Even though he had a great showing his first time around, he's back and probably hitting the ground running and already looking ahead to the next one, because that's how it is, man. Especially once you get that first taste, like in the league, man, you're like, all right, man, you're getting some confidence. And I would imagine that he walked away with some confidence after that game, because he did a really nice job there. I was seeing if he spoke to the media afterwards, Chase, or there's any media from him, but I haven't seen it. I know there's an article saying like this is what he said following his game, but I was looking for if there was like an actual interview. And maybe there is one right here. Let me see. August 8th, 1 in the morning. Yeah, this might be it. Let's see how much there is on here. It's just from Twitter. Let's see.
Well, number one, what a dream come true to play my first NFL game in Bloomfield. I think the best thing for all of us is just team regroup, but also just build on this game. I think that's so important as you go on any journey. You have to start somewhere. So now with that, you're able to build upon what we did well, what we didn't. You just try to build upon that, just go 1% better as we have this opportunity. So, but for me, it was just awesome just being on the field. That's my first time here in the stadium. So now the biggest thing is keep on building and just see every opportunity for us to just get better.
Everyone knows about your running. Are you surprised Clint Kubiak's running you as much in practices and even tonight?
I'm not really surprised by that. That's definitely a weapon that will be utilized now or even in the future against defenses. You know how much of a threat it is against defenses when you're able to throw and run. So I just know no matter what game plan it is, utilizing the passing game and the running game is going to be beneficial for us.
Would you the fourth down play? If you could think about it again, what would you assess that play?
Yeah, I think for us as players, it's all about execution. We failed to execute on that play. No matter what play call is, asked of us, it's all about execution. And so we'll have an opportunity to regroup and watch the tape and see what exactly I could have done on my part. But of course, in completion, you're going to look at how can we be better on that play. And so the best thing for me as a quarterback is coach trusting me on fourth down to make a play. And so I just give thanks to Coach Kubiak, Coach McDonald, because they kept our offense on the field and allowed us to have an opportunity to advance downs. And so
Sorry about that. Definitely didn't realize my mic was still muted. But really cool to hear from him. Quick little snippet following his first game. Again, great showing by him. 6 of 10, some explosive runs, really just displaying what he can do. But I agree with Marcus. I think he said in the chat, we would have loved to see him get it downfield, push the ball downfield, some of those deep throws a little bit. But, it's preseason, right? Then matter of fact, you got to think too, in the game, they were up, right? So, they're in clock management mode. We're just trying to run the football, keep the clock going, right? Because they did. I mean, they were competing for that game. I mean, it felt like even though it was preseason, I mean, they obviously wanted to win that game. Pete Carroll coming back, they're trying to spoil that. But yeah, no, I mean, you'll see more opportunities. I'm sure he'll get to really drive it a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, for what they asked of him, man, I thought he did really well, and I think he is off to a great start. So shout out to the young man getting his first NFL action, and other guys that were also in that game. I need to go back and Chase. I'm trying to think. We got so many guys with Philly, like Cam Law too. I'm sure he probably got a number of snaps. I really want to go back and watch that and see some of our other Bama guys from that one. But again, I didn't get to see it. Hulu, I guess, wasn't showing that. But I'll take y'all's advice. I'll check out YouTube TV. I know they're similar, Hulu Live and YouTube TV. I always lean towards Hulu Live because it also came with it's like a bundle. You get like ESPN Plus, as well as, like the Hulu, like, TV series, movies, all that stuff. But I'll check out YouTube TV and see if it lets me get a few more, I guess, games, whatever the case may be. But seems like you guys were pretty impressed with what he did too. So shout out to Jalen and company. That being said, Dwight says he tagged us in something on X. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see what it was. Oh, it looks like it's from Pavia. Was Pavia talking again, guys? All right, well, let's just listen to it. So we're going to segue real quick from preseason back to college. Dwight tagged us in this. Allegedly, Diego Pavia was, I guess, talking. I don't know what it's about, but let's go ahead and hear what he had to say.
Offense and defensively to go really put our foot forward and go win the national championship.
I'm not trying to act like I didn't hear what you said. I did, but you're deadly serious, right?
Yeah, I wasn't cracking the joke. That's the standard.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you national championship. That takes a great deal. I feel like I'm just having a little fun with you here, but that's quite a statement. And by the way, I've heard your coach say the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, NIL, even the playing field. You know what I mean, for a lot of teams, and we feel like we got offensively and defensively our A game versus anyone's. Like, I like my team. You ask me who the best wide receiver in the country is, I'm gonna tell you someone on my team. You ask me who the best O lineman is, I'm gonna tell you someone on my team. Same thing with safeties, DBs, everything.
And best quarterback, would that be you?
You're looking at him.
Wow, that was quite the interview, Chase. I mean, I know we were joking about Vanderbilt yesterday and kind of like where we're at this point with Vanderbilt, but I mean, he's kind of crossed the line at this point, man. I mean, you know what? Actually, not really though, because as an athlete, as a competitor, I mean, what is he supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, I'll just say this. I mean, if he said anything else, I almost would be concerned that maybe he's lacking confidence. But like to hear him say that he feels Vanderbilt is, building something to win a national championship. I mean, that is kind of crazy to hear. But I mean, they did shock the world last year. I mean, they beat us. They played solid against, what was it, Texas? I think it was Texas that they had a decent game against. But
It was Texas, I think.
yeah. I mean, like him saying like his guys are the best at their positions. I mean, I totally get it, right? But that was kind of an awkward thing. I mean, that was a little bit of a weird exchange, I will say, with Paul Feinbaum. It doesn't shock me there. He's kind of an odd guy himself. What do you think, though, Chase? I mean, do you think he's kind of like he's doing too much? Like, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, what do you expect him to say, though? I mean, like, was he supposed to get up there and say, "Oh, I think we're going to have a good year. We'll see." I mean, I don't know if we're playoff, worthy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I almost feel like he's saying what you would expect him to say, or I don't know. What do you think? You think he's got too much dip on his chip, Chase?
I don't think so. I think it's a good thing for Vanderbilt because you look at years and years prior to this moment, they would have never said this on air. I don't think you can pull up a clip of them, any player, any coach, or their AD saying that we have the talent, we have the resources to compete for anything. So I think they believe in themselves. I'm happy for Vanderbilt because it brings more competition, but it
True.
also brings a lot of pressure because you're on Paul Feinbaum's show, who's probably, even though he is a weird guy, it brings a lot of media attention to it, So
Right.
everybody's looking at their positions he just named. He said the best wide receiver. He even said the best quarterback. So, it's a lot of shoes to fill. I know they had a miraculous, season last year. They knocked off Bama, almost beat Tennessee, almost beat Texas. They beat Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. But you got to repeat it. And the Bama standard is why it's the Bama standard, because they do it year after year after year after year. So I hope he comes to play, or it's going to blow up in his face. Not only his, but he said his coach said that the national championship was something that they can achieve. So I'm very curious how this is going to go.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, and to be fair, I mean, literally, especially right now, off-season training camp, this one thing I do know. Everybody's saying the same stuff. Everybody swears they're winning the national championship. Ohio State's telling themselves they're doing that. Oregon's saying that. Georgia's saying that. Texas is saying that. South Carolina's probably saying that. Hell, probably Illinois, who I think was in the whatever, Syracuse, whoever that was in like the top 25 or something. They're probably saying that, even though everybody on the outside was like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a normal thing. I guess it's just, to me, like, you're on national television on the Paul Feinbaum show. Like, I guess the difference is like me, I would probably change the word. I would probably, say like, we're looking forward to another, successful year, building off of the success we had last year. We're excited about what we're bringing to the table this season, and we're looking forward to the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to flat out just say like, yeah, he's like, oh, that's the standard. I feel like everybody's jocking Alabama now. It's like, oh, well, that's the standard.
Yeah.
But but you know what I mean? But it's not the same thing. Like, no, y'all's goal is to win a national. Our standard, like, let me differentiate the two. Our standard is to win a national championship. Why? Because we've won championship after championship, and we have like arguably the most national championships. That's our standard. It's not Vanderbilt's standard. So he needs to kind of change that up. Their goal, right, is to win a national championship. Everybody's goal is that every year, even if you don't think it's going to happen. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, that's literally what you're playing for. But the standard, come on, guy. I'm not going to lie. It's like I'm kind of like back and forth. Part of me is like, yeah, man, he should have that confidence. Then the other part's like, all right, bro, like come on, let's be a little serious here, like, and change the wordage a little bit. I don't know.
Do you, Christian, I guess before you get to break, do you think if the games they had last year, if they would have been different, do you think Vandy would have gotten any attention? It just would have been like the usual Vandy, just because of, yeah.
You're saying, like, you mean if they didn't beat Alabama?
Yeah, solely.
You're saying, like, say he was a good player, but they didn't beat Alabama. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, no, they would have no attention. No, they would have no attention. I mean, like, he would probably have some attention, right? Just because he played well or whatever the case may be. But it really was just the shock factor. I mean, I'm a Teddy in the chat says way too much dip on his chip, cuz. No, I mean it's a little it's too much, man. Like again, I get the confidence factor, but like for him to sit there and almost act like he's taking offense to Paul Feinbaum saying like he doesn't understand. Like, bro, you beat us last year, cool. But see, this is why we can't be going out there and just playing around folks like this, because this is what happens. I blame us, Chase. It's our fault. We created this monster that you see on the screen next to Paul Feinbaum. And it started immediately after the game with his interview, cussing his family all around, and now going through the season, the off season. And I see why the Vanderbilt game sold out now, Chase. But I swear to God, dude, if he comes, if he shows up at Bryant-Denny Stadium and pulls some Johnny Manziel, Chase, I might not show up for that post-game show. I'm just going to tell you guys right now. Chase, you might have to go on CTSN and go take my spot for the Everwood post-game party show.
For real?
Listen, and it's not going to happen. It's not. But I'm just saying, like, he's starting to kind of remind me of Manziel a little bit, man. I mean, obviously the way he plays, running around the field, but the way he's starting to hat and stuff, man, I don't know. I told you guys, my first ever game here at Alabama was the Texas A&M game with Manziel. So I don't know. He's starting to kind of make me uncomfortable because now I'm starting. All right, let's do this. Let's hit a timeout. We come back. I know we got some callers to get to. We'll go to the phone lines. We'll talk a little bit. But again, quick little reminder. First scrimmage in the book tomorrow. We'll kind of talk about what we expect from that or what we might be looking out for. I think that was one of the questions in the chat, kind of what we'll be looking for. So we'll discuss that a little bit. Talk with you guys. Keep on rolling on this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC. Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. Vandy Standard is trying to make a bowl game, right? Like what are we talking about, man? If Vandy beats Bama at home, KD might get chased out of Tuscaloosa. Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I mean, I don't even know where you go from there. I'm being dramatic. I mean, you play the next play. And to be fair, let me go back. Vanderbilt was a good team last year. Were they great? No. But I mean, look, they brought in a transfer. They bring in an offensive coordinator. They bring in him. They bring in that tight end guy. I mean, they brought in some pieces, and their head coach is a good football coach. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I know we joke about Vanderbilt, but the Vanderbilt now is a different Vanderbilt than we're typically accustomed to. That being said, that shit still shouldn't happen. Still shouldn't happen. But they are a better team. I'll give them that. 2017 quit on Saban when they lost to ULM. Did they? I'll be honest with you, man. I wasn't really watching Alabama like that in 07. I was younger. How did that season go? I mean, I know obviously that was the first year where, it wasn't great, but like, how did it go after? You said they quit on them. Did they? What happened after that game? Let me pull it up. Because now I'm curious. Wait. Hold on. 7-6. What was the record? 7-6? So first loss was to Georgia, week 4. Then we lost to Florida State. So that ULM game was at the end of the year. Damn, we took some L's that year, though. Damn, we lost to Georgia, Florida State, LSU, Mississippi State, then ULM. Then we lost to Auburn the following week. But it was only 17-10. I don't think, they quit on that. I wouldn't say they quit.
Kitchen ants?
I think they already just probably weren't even playing before that game.
Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and...
Yeah, I see how that was a rough year. I'll be honest, guys. I mean, I know always hear about ULM, but I didn't realize all those other L's. I mean, we took L's to all the good teams. At least we beat Tennessee that year. Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Vanderbilt. Those are the only SEC wins. Oh God, that was an ugly year. And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Oh, damn, Chase, you might have somebody's trunk knocking with that instrumental.
Sorry about that.
No. Why? No, don't apologize. No, I'm just being funny. No, that had some bass. The drop on that, boy, somebody's going to be beating down the block listening to the Miller's Edge. All right, let me get back serious. In terms of, let me answer this real quick before we get the phone lines. Actually, no, I'll save it that way. No, I'll just preview it real quick and we can circle back to it. I know we'll probably spend more time talking about it in a little bit, but Marcus asked, what are you looking for offensively and defensively from the scrimmage tomorrow? Anyone in particular? First and foremost, I want to see a pass rush, how that's coming along. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I want to see where that's at, right? And I would love to see individual guys step up so I can say, all right, I feel better about knowing that we have some go-getters, right? Like when you know you need something, you don't have to just rely on pressure. But I will be looking for that too. I mean, like, you know, when we do dial up pressure, I mean, like how effective is that? Because when you look at pass rush, it's not always just about certain guys winning one-on-ones. It also can come from pressure, which that is a thing. And I think that will be a thing for us. I think we'll be aggressive. So I'll look at it from both standpoints. Individual guys, who's winning their one-on-ones, who's, if they're working games, all that good stuff. But even with the pressures, I just want to see how effective we are at affecting the quarterback. That's one thing I'm definitely paying attention to. Running the football, how does that look? Again, you always have to be realistic with this because, I mean, if you have a good run stop and defense, I mean, you got to take that into account and vice versa, right? So, but I do want to see our ability to run the football. And really, I think offensively, I'm just curious to see, how this offense might differ a little bit. Obviously, same system, but you think about different quarterbacks in it. And I know we got to see it during the spring, but training camp, you hit the reset button. So you kind of go back to like the basics. You start working back up, but you also start adding more stuff in because while you're working fundamentals, you are still game planning and getting ready to play your first game. So they're going to start adding stuff in there. And just seeing this kind of the evolution of things. But I would say that, man, pass rush, offensive line play. So I guess you could just put it together. Trench play, I think that's going to be big. Physicality, that's more of a mindset thing, right? Like I want to see, do we have a physical football team this year? You know what I mean? I feel like last year there were some inconsistencies from a physicality standpoint. Even speaking of Vanderbilt, man, I feel like they out-physicaled us that time. And now is the time to prove that. I mean, I know they had some live periods in practice, but this is a scrimmage. So, I mean, every rep is live. So I want to see who are those dogs? Are we playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage? Who's trying to finish some blocks? Like, what is that physicality factor? I mean, you think about Alabama, that's what you think about, at least in the past. So I want to see that as well. From the quarterbacks, want to see who can take command, make good decisions, obviously make the throws, be paying attention to that. And in terms of anybody in specific, Quay Rusaw's catching my attention just because he's, it goes back to the pass rush deal. But we've talked about how explosive he's been looking, this far into camp. I want to see that translate into a scrimmage setting. I want to see, how he puts it all together in that scrimmage game-like atmosphere. So I'll be looking at him. Trying to think some of the interior guys, really the guys that we've been talking about that we think can step up, like the Beemans. Like I want to see same thing with him, see him in that setting. Let's see who else. It's, so the second, like the corners, like, you know what I mean? Like, what you're getting out of those guys. So I'm not going to, I'll watch, but they're not going to have like my whole attention like that. Trying to think linebacker play. I know Deontay and Justin have played a lot, but Hill Green, I'm curious to see kind of his role, how he fits in there. some of the younger guys. I'm really I hadn't talked about it a whole bunch, but I think linebacker depth is something that I'm curious to see. I know people keep talking about a couple of these young guys, but none of them really have experience. And so I just want to see who are those young guys that might need to step up. I mean, you already got Deontay, who's somewhat limited. He's coming back from his injury. Outside of that, obviously Justin Jefferson, Hill Green, but you got to have other guys ready to go. And I'm just curious what young guys or who are going to be those first guys in if there are issues. It's basically the depth at linebacker. I'm going to look at that. So receivers, you know what you're getting. But I wouldn't mind, seeing like Rico Scott. We talk a lot about him, seeing what kind of day he has. I think that's about it, man. I think I probably hit about everything. Chase, let's do this because I know we kind of got to let's combine breaks. That way we can just go straight to the phone lines. That way we don't have to hit them with another commercial break so quick. So let's do that. All right, let's go to the phone lines here, and we'll get out early for the top of the hour break. Who's up first? I want to make sure I don't miss it. Is it Ragged Glory? We haven't heard from him in a minute. Ragged, welcome in.
It's been a minute, let me tell you.
Yes, sir. How's everything going?
Man, you know what? We're blessed. Every single day we're blessed.
Absolutely.
And I love you. I love your show. I love everything about it. I got it. Man, I've been chomping at the bit. This fall pine tree, you know what? His show, and there it is there. Just because Vanderbilt's in Tennessee, and that's the talk of the town, and I will not mention any names, but DP, his initials. You know what? You've changed my way of thinking because you just covered him. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm in today's game right now,
mm-hmm.
and if I'm playing quarterback, if I'm playing halfback, or even a doggone tight end or a wide receiver, the one person I would not want to hit me and let me know, welcome to Bryant-Denny Stadium, is Deontay Lawson. I'm going to tell you, just because he's been injured, I'm going to tell you right now, there is an eye of the tiger. He came back to us. He's ready to go. And I'm telling you, he's got something to prove. And that's one person I do not want seeing coming at me.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a really good player, really instinctual, has really good range. And obviously, man, that veteran presence and all those snaps that he's played, man, I'm expecting a lot from him. Obviously still kind of getting that confidence back from his injury, but, he's a great football player. And, I think with him, man, I think the biggest thing is, consistency. I mean, we've seen times where, he looks to be one of the top linebackers in the country without a doubt. And there's been some instances where I fight, some issues here and there, some run fits, kind of getting out of position. But he plays hard. He's rangy. He can do a lot for you. And I think year two in Kane Womack's system is only going to improve some of those things that we saw last year. And I think he's going to build off of it. And once he kind of gets that full confidence back in that leg, I think we'll see him flying around and probably playing his best football yet, man. So I'm really excited for him this season.
Thank God I'm not going to get hit by him.
I hate to move from him, but I'll say this: if I had to pick between the two, I would probably say Justin Jefferson to me, man, with his speed and him being a little bit more compact. You know what I mean? Because sometimes like the shorter guys that are a little bit more compact, the way they're built, they really pack a punch, man. So I'm not gonna lie to you, Justin Jefferson. If I had to pick between the two, I would probably say he's the guy you probably don't want to take a lick from because. Remember, he was the one that got that targeting penalty. He's like a missile flying around. That dude, he's not the biggest, but he hits a lot bigger than he is.
Get ready. We coming.
That's right.
You're coming here. This is our Coliseum. This is our house. But
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, there's a fire in Deontay. I just feel it. I don't call it male intuition or whatever. And everybody else out listening can think I'm speaking out of my mind or whatnot, but I just know it's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
and
no, I think you're on the right track.
I'm going to share this with you too. I'm going to back Wimp on us again, just like I told Gary this morning. We're going undefeated y'all better get ready for it because we are
Ragged,
going to
Ragged.
shock the nation. I'm bringing it.
No, Ragged. No, we are doing so good. Ragged, no, we can't. Ragged, I got
Nope.
it.
Yep.
I got to get you some
We are.
chapstick on that one,
We are.
man. I got to get you some
I'll back
chapstick on
it
that
up
one.
on Monday.
Ragged.
Okay. Yeah.
No, listen. Again, I pray that's the case, but dang, Chase, he wasn't going for that, huh? What was the last thing he said?
He said, "I'll back off," and then I think he ended it.
Oh, he said I'll back. Oh no, I wasn't trying to get on like that. I was being funny. I always look. I have to do that anytime we have somebody that says, "Oh, we're going undefeated." I always just have to say, "Look, is as great as that sounds, right?" I I have to bring us back to reality and just say, look, the analyst in me, from a how do I explain this? As an Alabama fan, we all want to say we're going undefeated every year. Trust me, but you guys know how we like to do on this show. We keep it real. I just think the reality of anybody going undefeated is very slim nowadays, man. I don't see anybody going undefeated like that. I think college football is in a much different space. Let alone like even the years like when like 2016 we went undefeated until we got beat in the national championship. Like if you guys only knew, like it might look like we're beating up on these teams, but bro, it is not easy at all, man. Week in, week out, playing against good teams. I mean, you just look at the schedule, going on the road to face Georgia, South Carolina, LSU's coming here. They're a good team. Expecting Oklahoma to be better. Auburn's never, an easy task. I can't, man. I can't. But I'm not saying it can't happen. I would love for it to happen. So let me say this though, because I know we have some people that freak out if they hear, "Oh, why is it Christian? No, he's being negative." No, it's just listen. My goal is to have credibility, and if I sat here and said I just believe we're going undefeated every year, I would be looked at as a joke. So that's why I have that type of mindset, man, because it's just not ideal. Let's keep rolling. We got Marty up next. Marty, welcome in.
Christian, he said he'd back it up Monday.
Oh, he said back it up Monday. Okay. I was about to say I didn't know what he exactly said, but
that's what he said. He'd back it up. But
I mean, look, here's the thing. If listen, let me say this real quick, Marty. If people have 12-0 predictions, I'm all for the excitement, the hype. But my only thing is, you got to throw at me your reasons why. You know what I mean? Because I just like talking from a technical standpoint. Like, as a fan, yes, it's easy to say we're going undefeated, but I want people to tell me why you feel we're going undefeated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he said. He'd back it up Monday. He had more time to tell you Monday.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
But Christian, I want to say something about Vanderbilt. You know what? I had a friend play for them way back when Steve Sloan was there. They were on a good streak. Sloan left because they couldn't pay him for Texas Tech. Vanderbilt went down. Franklin was there. Look at what they were doing with Franklin there. Franklin, they wouldn't pay him. They wouldn't back him up. And he went on to Penn State. I'm not saying Ben Franklin's a good coach, but you got to have stability and that. And you got to have a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think this coach at Vanderbilt has started to change I'm not saying he won a national championship, but I think he's changing the culture of the players, and he's got them believing, and that's all you ask of your team. And we laugh at Vanderbilt, but if you look how many coaches that went there. Fred Pancoach left Memphis and went up there and beat Tennessee, where they hadn't beaten them in 12 years. So, I mean, and even DiNardo left and went to LSU, even DiNardo was a bad coach. But, I mean, there's where Vanderbilt just hasn't had no stability and that. Just like what Bear Bryant said in 58. He says, I come here to win a national championship, guys, and we're going to do it with this first recruiting class. 1961, he won the national championship. But we had stability from 1925 when we had the whole country in the South and put football on the map, and everybody in the South backed Alabama. Because if you look at what that train come in, there were thousands of people lined up from California all the way to Tuscaloosa.
Wow.
Saying roll tide. So, I mean, there's where it's not apples to oranges right there. But we want to knock Vanderbilt because they've been bad. But you look at how many coaches, and we were bad too. If we didn't get Saban, we may have went down to 2-2. So, I mean, there's where you look at the bowl, look at that after Bear, how long it took us after Bear left to win a national championship. Ray Perkins was a joke, carrying down everything Bear built up. Murray couldn't beat Auburn, so we went to his house with the moving van and packed his stuff up and told him to get out. So, I mean, there's where, we got lucky and got Saban. He knew what he's doing as a football coach, and he built on Bear Bryant's success, and he got the team and won it. But you're not going to win 5 national championships anymore in 8 years. We're going undefeated. Well, no. I think we'll lose 2 games. Me and you are going to pick. But this is our bet, too. I don't know if we'll get to do it. We may just have to flip a coin and see who loses on buying a hamburger, because I don't know if I can get down there that Friday before the Louisiana Monroe game, because I promised a friend that her dad's an alcoholic and stuff, that I'd take her to a concert Friday night that she really likes the guy. He's a old country guy, singer and stuff. So I don't know if I could get down that Friday, but I'm gonna be to your show about 4 times, because I need to talk to you about stuff and give you some history. You need some history. You need it. Did you watch that? Ain't Anything But a Winner? That movie?
I have not seen it yet. I'm definitely looking forward to watching it, but I have not gotten a chance.
You'll learn some history with Bear Bryant, what he had to put up with George Wallace. He had to put up with a lot. He wouldn't rub elbows. He had to put up with George. He wouldn't rub elbows with George Wallace, but he had to put up with a lot of stuff. And another thing that people don't understand, you know what made Michigan State so great in the 50s and the late 60s? Frank Broyles and Bear Bryant would take every player that they couldn't get in school because they were black in an envelope, go down to Mobile and meet Duffy down at Mobile and say, these are the players we can't get in. They can get in. You let black players in at Michigan State. You recruit them and you'll win. And that they did that every year.
Wow.
Until they could he got John Mitchell to commit to come to Alabama.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely need to go watch and learn a little bit more about that, man. That stuff's always interesting to learn about.
That time in the United States, but there's where Bear Bryant was handcuffed, and he won and he still won, but he was handcuffed. And that's what makes me mad about people and coach. Sometimes the administration ain't along with the coach, and that's like at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt administration, this coach has got it. But I'm not. I just wanted to bring up some history on that. And I had friends go play football there when Steve Sloan was there, and they were pretty good. But I was always like Alabama since 1966 when I got to see old Stabler run around and that.
Wow.
But I mean, there's where, we can say, I'm like you. I just don't think everything for you really to go undefeated this year and even through the playoffs, all the dominoes got to line up perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. I mean, and you got to play the right team at the right time to beat. That's what I was saying the other day. It's when you play a team and when you get your bye week and when that team gets the bye. It's just like us. We play LSU, which is a tough game. Then we got to come back the next week and play Oklahoma. I mean, that's 2 tough games back to back.
Wow. You're right. You're right. And that's why I just say, I don't know. I mean, in today's landscape of college football, I just don't know if, undefeated seasons are really still prevalent. It might be a thing of the past, but I mean, again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I just think it's better to have realistic expectations, meaning that, hey, you could lose 2 games. It is what it is. We don't like to lose, but you still secure yourself a spot in the playoffs, and that's really all you really can ask for, and still have a chance to go play for a conference championship. So I just think it would be ideal to probably have those types of expectations. That way you're not setting yourself up for these undefeated expectations. And then when things don't go that way, just because that's where we're at in college football, you don't feel so let down. But Marty, we got to hit this top of the hour break, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Hey, you have a good weekend. Now you're like a Monday.
Yes, sir. Sounds great, man. Good deal. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. He said, don't spoil the movie. I mean, I think it's just about like the history and stuff. I'm not bringing a drink. Oh, I got it. Is it not nationwide? I thought they were showing it in Texas too. I don't know. Do you keep up and follow recruiting? If you do, how do you feel about Oregon pulling number one player out of Alabama 2 years back to back? I'll be honest, Marcus, I don't, man. I mean, unless you guys ask me to check a player out, or if we're like landing somebody, I guess we did keep up with it a little bit over the past few weeks when all these guys were making decisions, because our listeners really wanted to hear or see about them. But do I like keep up with it? Nah, I don't, man. But how do I feel about Oregon? I'll be honest, that's just where we're at with recruiting in college football. I mean, money talks. Money talks, So, yeah, I would just say, I mean, Oregon's got a big bag to play with. And I mean, just think about if you were a kid, like, just like everybody thinks about Alabama for all the success, man. I mean, at least I know me, like growing up, Oregon's always, had the cool uniforms. You know what I'm saying? Like Oregon's kind of had a little bit of swag to them. So like, imagine them coming to you at 17 years old, offering you a ton of money, and you get to be the man at Oregon. And some guys like all that stuff. They like all the crazy uniforms. I mean, they're connected to Nike. I'm sure they're probably telling them they'll get some Nike type, when I say deals, I'm saying like, credit and stuff, be, connected, with Nike. I mean, I can just imagine it's definitely appealing to some guys. But no, it doesn't surprise me. But I thought it was Ohio State that landed the top guy in Alabama last year. Was it not? Wasn't it a corner that went to Ohio State? I thought it was like a cornerback. You waiting on my O-line, D-line analysis from the scrimmage? Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, that's really what I'm just going to be paying attention to, really trench play. And I mean, it's everything as a whole, but I really want to see guys up front. I want to watch our front seven. I want to watch our offensive line. Can we protect the quarterback? That's a big one. If we were guaranteed 10-2, would we take it? What do you think? Yeah, going back, and I know you asked that before I said this, Paul, but yeah, like I had mentioned a second ago, to me, man, 10-2, you get a chance to go play for in the playoffs for a championship, man. That's really about all you can ask for nowadays. I mean, obviously, I still am, I haven't forgot about conference championships. I know sometimes people kind of just they overlook it because all they care about is national championships. But the thing is, with 10-2, is more than likely you still are up in contention for playing in your conference championship anyway. So as long as Vanderbilt's not in that too, man. As long as Vanderbilt is not in that too, I'm cool, man. But because the thing is with me, guys, like I know from a fan perspective, like y'all have like real beef with some of these fan bases. I get it. Y'all really don't like to lose to certain teams. I'll be honest with you. Like even me joking around the Vanderbilt thing, that's more just because it's like that would just be kind of embarrassing. We'd have to deal with this guy talking even more. But I tune out like other fan bases and stuff. So like I really like Tennessee was annoying, like seeing all that crap, but I'm just it is what it is. I kind of just view it as a
4-7. You'll find
not a compliment, but like that just goes to show you. I mean, if everybody's parading around and celebrating just by beating you in a regular season game, I mean that says everything you need to know. You know what I mean? It's no different. If you got people talking about you, obviously they're doing something right. That I've always been a believer of that. Because if people aren't talking about you, that means you obviously aren't doing enough to even get their attention. So that's my philosophy with it.
Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, we just got done with a couple phone calls on the phone line. Hour number one was interesting, man. It kind of flew by. We didn't even really dive into a whole bunch other than Jalen Milroe's preseason debut. Good showing from him, 6 of 10 through the air, 3 rushes, yards. Was really, really impressed with his first game. Played the whole second half, did a nice job in there. Looking forward to seeing more out of him. Trying to think of what else. Oh, we talked about the Padre guys staring at me right here on the screen, talking crazy about their standard being a national championship. But again, give the credit where credit's due. They've done a nice job. Him as coach, Clark Lee is a great football coach. Brought in some new coaches, right? I mean, some transfers. They've improved, but their standard being national championships, cut it out. Your standard is to be engineers and doctors and have probably the best highest quality degree in the conference. Like we can agree like that's their standard, but national championships, that's not y'all standard, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. All right. That being said, we talked a little bit about a scrimmage or about the scrimmage tomorrow. What we were kind of looking for, trench play, big one, pass pro. Can we run the football? Really all the basic fundamentals, right? Especially first scrimmage, but pass rush, a big one. But yeah, looking forward to all that. And it'll be a good day, man. It'll be a good day. Back in Bryant-Denny for a scrimmage again in the spring. They were doing them over like at the practice facility a little bit. So nice to bring it back over in Bryant-Denny Stadium for that. 205-342-9904 is the number. Let's keep on rolling on the phone lines. We got Tommy up next. Tommy, welcome in. I'm good, Tommy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, there it goes. Sorry.
This volume driving me nuts. So what?
I said, no, you're good. I think it was what was it called? I think it was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
We got you now, though. What's going on, Tommy?
Nothing much. Well, with Jalen, I think they kept it simple because it was his first game. It didn't matter who won or lost. They just see what he can do. And they kept it simple to build up confidence.
Well, yeah, and I agree with you, Tommy, but also to add to, going off of what was going on in the football game, they were winning, right? Last thing you want to do is just go out there just throwing the football a whole bunch, giving the ball back to them, stopping the clock. So they were just going with the natural flow of the game. But that said, I mean, regardless, I like that type of rhythm for them. I mean, again, when you can run the football effectively, and I think last night just seeing Jalen operate in that, which is a pro-style offense, you saw him, he's under center a whole bunch. He looked great. And to me, like, that's why sometimes we talk about you can't try to get too cute. You can't overcomplicate things, man. You got to be able to run the football effectively, set your guys up. And that's what they were doing, even though really, again, they were trying to just let the clock go and we're going with the flow of the game. But you see how well it worked for a guy like him, getting his confidence in there, letting them run the football and just move the football effectively. I thought it was solid. I think it's just a good teaching lesson that before you start saying, oh, this guy can't do this, he can't do that, try him in different situations and settings, then kind of come up with the verdict. Because to me, last night, I thought he looked really well in that system.
Yeah, it just I mean, I don't know why there's so many people down on the young man. I mean, move
I don't
on.
either.
Wish him well and move on. It's getting old. It really hiking me off. But to address another issue about the Vanderbilt quarterback, yeah, he got game. You got to remember, he came to the conference last year from what? New Mexico State and one of the schools I get mixed up. His fame was he beat Auburn and Auburn. Well, his coach left and went to Vanderbilt and took him and some of the players. And all last year was, well, they might have got him, but now he's in the big boy league. We'll see how good he does. Well, guess what? Right now, might not be much to Alabama standard, but he's going to go down the greatest quarterback in Vanderbilt history. And Vanderbilt never beat the number one team till last year, and it was Alabama, and he beat Alabama and Auburn. He beat Auburn again, so, yeah, I can see him having a little chip on his shoulder. Yeah, I'm going to win the Heisman, and we're going to play for the national championship. He got to get the fan base fired up because the talk is in Vanderbilt, man, we have 2 good seasons. He'll last us for 10 years. So, or we'll lose our coach to another program because they're not going to pay to keep him. But Clark Lee, I believe, played for Vanderbilt in college. I could be wrong. Y'all can look that up real quick. But he has some ties to the community. Firebomb is Firebomb. I don't really listen to him much, but I've heard the talk that, yeah, we're going to win the national championship. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and look, like I said earlier, man, if your quarterback doesn't have that type of confidence, should be a little concerned. Granted, he could have expressed it a little bit differently, but that's what you get out of this guy. I mean, we already know that from him after the way he reacted to beating Alabama last year. But hey, man, it'll make it for an interesting game when they come here to Tuscaloosa. I think we can agree on that.
Oh, yeah. He could have said it different, like, well, you can see what we did last year. We want to keep the momentum up, and we want to get better. We don't want this to be a dictate thing. We want you to respect the University of Vanderbilt. Something like that, and people wouldn't get all bent out of shape or laugh at them, So, well, last year they beat Alabama, Virginia Tech, and they lost to some of the other schools they shouldn't lost to. So, they got to be consistent. They can't lose to,
that's true.
Don't play for them to get respect on a constant basis. They can't play Tennessee close. They got to beat Tennessee, so they would get respect in their state.
Well, I think speaking of Tennessee, I think they just had something come out where their coaches, they're talking about, and maybe I'm making this up, but I swore I heard something about like somebody was giving a speech saying like they should beat Tennessee every year. I'm not gonna lie, the confidence in Nashville or wherever Vanderbilt's at, it's through the roof right now, man.
Yeah. And like what we said the Monday after the Alabama Vanderbilt game, the college students were there 50 years from now can tell their grandkids. I was there when we beat number one Alabama. Yeah, it might be another 40 years. I don't know.
We'll see.
You're talking after the season. Hey, Tristan, I'm going to blow your bubble. Yeah, I'm going to blow your bubble. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Are you ready?
Yep, talk to me.
We're not going 12. We're not going to go 12-0. Those days are over with. Man, I'll be one happy human being or go 16-0. I'll be happy. But nobody's going to go undefeated anymore. I don't believe. And nobody's going to win back-to-back national championship. In the playoffs. It's going to be hard.
It is going to be hard. I agree.
You got to have team unity, chemistry.
Say that one more.
You haven't won that.
Oh, you said you have to have team chemistry?
Yeah, oneness and the ball got to mount your way for 32 games and win 2 national championships. I mean, you got to play
That's
16
true.
games.
It takes a lot, man. That's why I don't know if people understand really what all goes into it. Especially now, right? I mean, you talk about the playoff system, Tommy. I mean, you got to play a number of games. I mean, running the table like that, I just that's tough. That's tough. But hey, man, again, I don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. I love the excitement. My thing is just this show. I'll be honest with you. We pride ourselves in doing things a little bit different. We try to keep it more of a realistic, speaking facts, X's and O's. So when we do have our listeners, which I love to hear from you guys, and I love the confidence you guys have, I just ask to just kind of stay within the theme of the show. At least give me some reasons why. Why do you think we're going 12-0? Not just because the fan part of it, where we're going 12-0 because I believe in these guys. We all got faith in these guys, but tell me why. What makes you, when you look at this football team, what is it about this football team that makes you think that? What is it about these other teams that makes you think that we have the advantage in X, Y, or Z categories? That's my thing. Just for fun. And if you don't, and if not, no worries. I mean, if you just think we're going 12-0 just because you think we're going 12-0, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all fun and games at the end of the day. It's talk radio. It's not that serious.
No, I mean, don't have your feelings on your cuff sleeves. I mean, it was somebody said that. It's just, like I read last night, 5 reasons why Alabama won't be successful and Caleb Moore will not be successful at Alabama. I'm like, I'm not supposed to say the PISS word, but you know what? Give the man a chance, for heaven's sake. 1 freaking year he's been here. All right. And then before my time, I'm going to give you a quick history lesson because I'm already like history.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thought a coach ever would win 3 national championships again at one school when Wade Wallace left in 1930. Well, 31 years later, Ben Bryant won his first ring, he won 6 others. Well, when Bryant retired and passed away, Coach Bryant, well, we won't see a coach win 6 national championships in 25 years. Those days are over with. All right, I agree with that. Well, holy cow. 30 years later, or 35, he comes Nick Saban. He won 6 in 17 years. We'll never see that again. Well, Taylor DeMoore can't do that, I hear people say. Why are you label him as a failure before he gets started? That's what drives me insane by Alabama fans. And I'm supposed to be an Alabama fan. It just drives me insane. Give the man the opportunity. He has to have a full recruiting class. I mean, several in his say, or a cycle, you call a 4-year cycle or 3 years. Give the man an opportunity. I mean,
Absolutely.
we made minimal mistake in them games we lost last year. Minimal.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I think you just got to remember, Tommy, there's going to be a lot of people that are like that for whatever reason. No different than why they're like that with Jalen. You know what I mean? They're just so quick to just jump people, be negative, be rude, and talk down on them. It's no different than people just immediately saying, "Oh, ready to jump the next coach." I mean, that you're going to have my dad calls them the French 10 or something like that. You got people probably in every fan base, but I do feel like it pops up a lot with our fan base, at least as of recently it has. Maybe because, look, when everything's going right and you're winning a championship every other year, I mean, it's pretty easy to be, I guess, on your high horse. Everybody's excited and feeling great. But, when you kind of in that stage where you're kind of having to really grind for them, and it's been a few years, I think we're starting to see people are starting to show their true colors, man. And to me, if you're only positive when things are going right, they're going your way, I don't know how much of a true fan you really are. I don't know if you're bashing every player because he's not perfect. To me, I don't know how much of a true fan you are. But again, people, it's their life to live. I mean, I mean, I don't know why I'm not like that. I don't know why other people would be like that, but it is what it is, man.
I hope I don't sound like that. But I mean, when they mess up, it's okay. But don't beat the dead horse. The horse is dead. They
You
can
know,
hold
we'll just do
American
this. We'll
land.
just do this, Tommy. We'll just start assessing their jobs. So whether they're a banker, I don't know, in the real estate, I don't know, maybe they just stock shelves. Probably a lot of them do. We'll just start assessing their jobs and we'll just criticize everything they do.
Well, I mean, no more like that. No, I mean, but no, I'm gonna say something. I hope it ain't. I know you got your other caller. I don't want to sound like this, but there's people who think I spend money for football tickets. How am I going to say this without sounding? They think they own the players out there. You don't own them, all right? You're paying to watch them play.
Right.
They sue the University of Alabama or any other school because they want to go there and supposed to get a college education. You don't own them. You don't have no right to them.
Oh,
You don't need to
1,000%.
bother them.
Well, then
So go ahead.
no, I said 1,000%. I think people do they get a little too much dip on their chip for their support. That's probably the bad side of NIL, because I only know I can imagine NIL probably made that 10 times worse. But the funny thing is, though, for all the people that do sit behind a keyboard and like type whatever or spew all this stuff out, especially about Jalen, the crazy thing is that when they see him in person, I promise you, there's probably not been one person to actually go up and say the things that they typed about him. And it's actually quite the opposite. They're asking for pictures and autographs and smiling and talking about, oh, man, we love watching you. Then guarantee if you go look at their history on their Twitter or something, they probably type some completely the opposite. But,
oh, no, they trolls. I call them more trolls.
Yep, that's what it is.
I have another name for them, but we can't say it on the radio.
Oh, Lord.
But,
Tom, we're about to hit this break, man. I appreciate you, brother.
I mean, you have a great weekend. And say hi to your dad. He don't call the show no more.
I know. He forgot about us, man. He's too big time for us over here. All good. Well, all right, Tommy, I appreciate you, bro. We'll talk soon, man. Roll Tide. Good deal. All right, quick timeout. We come back. We got Robbie Glenn up next on the phone lines, and we'll keep on rolling right here on this Free for All Friday. We'll be right back. Bro, my connection or maybe with the station, I don't know. Something is not. It seems out of whack. Milroe's a stand-up guy, and people trash him without even knowing the young man is a great player at Bama and an even better person. Absolutely.
Trusting me on fourth down to make a play. And so I just give thanks to Coach Kubiak, Coach McDonald, because they kept our offense on the field and allowed.
Bro, even with this, what is wrong? This stream is just all out of.
Have an opportunity to advance downs. And so that's part of playing football. You're going to have success. You're going to have failure. So it's all about regrouping and understanding what we need to do so that we can execute when we have those opportunities.
Are you going to run on that and then decide to throw it?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. So I had the threat of throwing and running. So as I assess, the tape when that comes, I'll see if what was best for us on offense. But I had the opportunity.
Jim, what do you think of the touchdown drive as a whole, working your way down there, making a couple throws on their half of the field?
Yeah, for sure. It takes all 11 of us completely, and that's something that's special as an offense. When we're all on the same accordion, you can do a lot of special things, and it's about building on the play before that and stacking good drives. That's the important thing when you regroup on the sideline is how can we be efficient? How can we take care of the ball? How can we advance downs? How can we communicate the best we can? And if we do that's going to push us to go on to have scoring drives like that. And so, it's preseason number one. You can't hang your hat on one game. And so now it's about regrouping. We have a great opportunity ahead of us with practicing. But, that's just definitely something that we want to do continuously is just build those drive and score.
Yeah, whether it's that drive or in the first half when Drew was playing, how much were you sensing the run run game really helping drive this up?
Yeah, I think when you have all elements of our offense clicking, whether it's the run game or the passing game, it complements each other. Because when you have the threat of the run, you have so much that comes with game plan. It comes with stopping our running backs, even when our quarterback have to scramble. And so as we keep pushing and moving forward, it's all about executing what the play call is asked of us. But I know the running game is going to be beneficial with the backs that we have.
Just before Jacardia's touchdown, 2 plays before that, you had a completion to Broden when he was rolling out. It seems like you two have really developed a strong chemistry. The Football Fest had a touchdown to him. But what have you seen from him, and what has really clicked with him, with you both being rookies here?
I think it's the work in the dark. First meeting him.
Calusa. This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Robbie Glenn up next. Robbie, welcome in.
Hey, Christian. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. Hey, happy Friday to you.
All my years of listening, watching, and talking college football, have I ever heard so much talk about Vanderbilt football in my life, except talking about their GPA. This is crazy.
I'm telling you, man.
It is what it is. It is what it is. They are the Alabama State champs right now until October 4th when they come to our place. But, I guess that's what Pavia is doing, is making them relevant in the news. And, they're talking about them a lot, whether it's confidence or he's just doing that to get Vanderbilt talked about. I don't know, but we'll see October 4th. But, going undefeated, I just don't see it. I would love it. But in today's college game, with how good the teams are, the road games, how many games you play, that's tough. I do agree with Ragged that we will be in the SEC tournament championship. I got us playing Ole Miss kind of out there. I don't know why I got Ole Miss in there.
Oh, wow.
They play their tough games at home, except for Georgia and Oklahoma. But something about they're not being talked about as much. They're good. Last year they were supposed to be really good and just kind of got through. And I just think he's going to have a good year. That's who I got penciled in, Ole Miss and Bama in the SEC championship. But I got a football tackling question because I know you for those. And always with the way the game's changed, back in the day, plugging the hole when the linebacker comes in. So, I know how that was. You just come in and just fill it and just knock the running back as hard as you can. You got like a short yardage, 4th and 2, 3rd and 3, whatever. The running back's going to run the ball. He's coming in there. He's just got to pick the hole he's going, but he's going to lower his head and go full force through that line to try to get that 2 yards. How is a linebacker or a free safety coming up to plug that hole? How does he meet him if he can't get lower than him, but without getting a head-to-head or a targeting or anything like that with these new rules? How do you handle that and stop him from getting the first down?
Yeah, that's a great question. Typically in those situations, man, you're not going to see as many of the targeting penalties because it's so quick. It's so, there's such a short distance there. It's normally clogged up, especially going down the middle. But I will say this. I mean, you still just got to try to just have great technique, eyes under eyes, drive your feet through contact. But I know that they're a little bit more lenient sometimes with the targeting when it comes to like the offensive guy. I mean, he's lowering his head, lowering his shoulder. Sometimes it's inevitable. There's going to be some type of contact there. But as long as, a guy has his eyes up and it doesn't look like he's just aiming with the crown of his head, I think you're pretty safe in that type of instance, I would say. But it's tough. I mean, everything starts up front. You know what I mean? Everything starts with the guys that, getting pushed, getting some knockback. But you just got to use your technique that you've been taught, man. Eyes in your eyes, driving through contact, and see what you're hitting. And it's really about all you can do. But I don't feel like we've seen too much targeting from those positions, and I think that's why
That
it's
kind of
just
position.
yeah, because it's just so
All
quick.
right.
I mean, and there's only so much you can do. Like normally it's kind of a pile up, like I feel like even if they wanted to try to see, it's hard to tell who's initiating what, and it's just normally like a big pile typically in those situations.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I always wondered that when they're coming full speed like that. Because I know, you got to read it, and maybe if you read it quicker and you get there before him, and you can get your technique better. But now, when you were tackling, I asked Marcel this. I said when he was making tackles, when you hit somebody, he said he kept his eyes open the whole time so he could see the guy's face when he's taking him to the ground. Were you that way? Did you have your eyes at contact, just still open, looking at his?
That sounds very intimate, man. I'll be honest with you. The game was happening so quick for me, man. I don't think I ever was telling myself I'm trying to see how he looks. I don't know. I'll be honest. Maybe some people did that. Personally, no. I always was just trying to just hit the guy and secure the tackle. I wasn't really locked in on how he looked. Now, after I hit him and I'm getting up, I might, while I'm kind of looking over him type deal. But I wasn't like that. To me, I think that's Marcel just kind of giving you some answer that just sounds a certain way.
Yeah,
so I'll be honest with you. When you're tackling somebody, first of all, you can't really see if you're tackling them correctly. When I say eyes in their eyes, once you're putting your face mask in there, I don't know how the hell he's actually looking up and seeing the guy's face while he's tackling him. So I know what he's trying to say, but I'll be honest with you. I don't. Maybe more so after the fact, but in the process of it, nah. I mean, now when I'm about to hit him, I'm seeing my target, but as I'm hitting him, the way he described it sounded like some damn movie scene where it goes in slow-mo and he's just watching the guy wince in pain as he's driving him into the ground.
Yeah, that's what it made it sound like to me.
Yeah. I mean, hell of a way to narrate his football experience, but I don't know how accurate that is.
He's a character, though. You know that. He's about crazy as they come.
No, I love it, man.
Yeah,
that's funny.
no.
I mean, maybe he pulled it off. Maybe that's what made him so damn good. Maybe I should have been trying to look at the guy I'm tackling a little bit more, or his face. That's funny.
That's awesome. But yeah, I love the show. I was in a meeting also. I haven't been able to listen till just a little while ago, so I called in. So happy Friday. I'm ready to see how this scrimmage goes tomorrow. And
it
hope
should
it's
be
a
good,
good one, no injuries, and just get ready.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things, man. Getting out of it healthy and getting some good work while you're out there. But no, I think it should be a good day. I mean, the practices have all been up tempo, some good intensity. So I'm fully expecting them to go out there and really get after, especially with it being the first scrimmage. Sometimes scrimmage number 2, man, it's kind of a hit or a miss because sometimes guys don't have the best first scrimmage, so then they're going into that second scrimmage with a chip on their shoulder. Then other times it's you're about 2 weeks into camp when that second scrimmage comes and that monkey's on your back and you're kind of really trying to just get through it. But normally the first one, man, it's kind of all right, guys are eager to really get after it. And it feels at least we used to always try to make it feel as much as, like a game as we could. So I think that's what we'll see tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'll definitely be glad to be here Monday to kind of give a little bit of a breakdown as much as I can, at least.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear the show Monday and hear how it went. Last thing, I know you got some other callers. When do they start actually looking at Florida State film, or are they already?
Great question. I don't know specifically with this staff just because I hadn't really paid attention to their install or anything. But I'll say with us, who that's a good question. We really would be in camp mode for, at least a couple of weeks. We would sometimes sprinkle in here and there some some certain looks that coaches wanted to see. We would do that, but we wouldn't really be game planning Florida State until really towards the end of camp. Really once it kind of got down to it, because we spent camp really working fundamentals, guys competing, getting after it, and working on our own install, because I think that's most important. And then we officially started breaking them down really kind of when camp broke, if I'm being completely honest with you. That was when we did our whole real, thing. Now, I think sometimes we would do a few days since we had extra time. So what we would do is, because a typical week for us, it would look like this. Monday is like our intro day. And so we literally would go over personnel. Like we would have a PowerPoint going, these are the offensive linemen, their experience, how many starts they have, all that good stuff, the receivers, their stats, starts, whatever. We go over all the personnel. We break down all the tendencies. So like all those GAs and all those other guys would literally have, all the stats on, all right, last season they ran the football, 63% of the time on first down, second down, this is their tendency. We like all that. So it was almost like the homework day type deal. And then we would have a light practice to kind of just intro it. And Tuesday was like our physical run the football type day. We really got after it, installed. And then Wednesday was like our pass rush, or like third down emphasis day. And then Thursday was kind of putting it all together, a little bit lighter of a practice and really kind of just putting a bow on everything. Friday was a walkthrough. So for camp, obviously you got more time. So what we did was we would start that like a few days early. So we would kind of like do like a 2 or 3 day like game day prep type deal. And then we'd reset it when he actually got to like the actual week. So it wasn't until like the end of camp till we really started getting into it. But I wouldn't be shocked if they're already kind of sprinkling some looks in there that they think they might see, but they're not like, at least I wouldn't expect them to be like right now or anytime soon really like putting Florida State tape on just yet. But I could be wrong. This staff might be different, but we never really did that. Our main focus was like being where our feet were. And that was like the entirety of camp, we wanted to focus on ourselves and self-assess. And then at the end, once it wrapped up or was coming to a close, we started slowly sprinkling in at Florida State. Or, well, it would have been Florida State. Yeah. Great question.
That's all right. Well, have a great weekend, and I guess enjoy the scrimmage tomorrow. We'll listen to you Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sounds good, Robbie. I appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
All right, Kristen.
Good deal. Yes, sir. Take care, man. All right, good deal. We got to hit a timeout. We come back. Keep on rolling on this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
.365, 24/7. You'll find.
Why can't they tackle at the ankles? Can't run if your feet don't move. Hey, great point, Julian. Yeah, so he was describing like in a situation like on a shortened I don't know, like third and one, fourth one, short distance to go. Kind of meeting a guy in the hole type deal. So typically in that situation, I mean, you want to definitely get as low as possible. Always say the lower man wins, but when you're taking somebody head on like that, I mean, you can technically go low, like you're saying, like ankle low. But the problem is if you go trip somebody and you're talking about short distance, more than likely they're going to end up falling forward over you for the first down. So in that situation, you hit them a little bit higher, try to drive your feet through contact. That way you can push them back. But you're 100% right. In other situations, yeah, you always want to tackle lower, but that's more of a, if you're an undersized guy like a DB going in to make a play, I mean, definitely going low helps. I mean, if you're undersized and you're tackling too high, you're just going to get ran over, But linebackers typically, unless, they're, tackling from an angle, they're typically going to be, eyes in their eyes, kind of in that, that range, kind of like that midsection range. You know what I mean? Near leg, near shoulder. His coaching staff has already been studying Gus's offense, so watching film on Tommy, they'll be prepared as best they can. Yeah. I mean, well, of course. I mean, the coaches they've been watching Florida State and Gus Malzahn and stuff since the spring. I was referring to he was asking about install, like actually installing it. But yes, I mean, coaches, I mean, they're doing that stuff. I mean, I remember our season would end and we'd have like GAs, we'd be in winter workouts and they're already watching our future opponents. And this would be like January. And obviously we don't play these teams until September, October, November. What's cool is how they feed players for a road game. They bring food with them, cater food for road games. Wait, at what point? What are you referring to? From? For a road game, the way it works is, depending what time we leave, but we typically would have. So let's just say it was normally we would leave. We get on a plane around. We get on the buses to go to the airport around anywhere early afternoon, 2, 3. We'd have a snack. They provide us with yeah, but I'm saying at what point? Because I mean, we're on the road from Friday to Saturday. You know what I mean? So like, and then there's like a whole schedule. You know, I'll be honest, we don't really cater food on the road. That's why I was confused. It don't really work like that. They would have a snack provided for us to get like on the way to the bus. Like as you're walking out the building on the bus, they'd have like a snack / little meal that we'd get like to eat on the bus. Obviously, the plane, you know, our flights weren't like super long, so it's not like we were ordering food on a plane. But that's why they gave us food, whether it was like a Chick-fil-A to go box. How do you eat? That's what I'm trying to explain to you, bro. If you call that, if you're saying like that part being catered, yeah, they cater like boxes before we get on the bus, but and welcome back into this free for all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. All right, let me answer this question real quick because I was explaining it during the break because somebody asked about like road games and how that process works. Oh God, I can't talk. Specifically with food, and so the way it works is, you know, we would always leave around 3. So what we would do is on a Friday, right? We'd get up to the complex around. There would be lunch at the complex, right? And then we'd have meetings that started at like, I don't know. I'm probably mixing up some of these times. It's not going to be 100%, but say like 1:15. We'd have meetings where we'd, you know, watch some film, kind of go over some brief stuff for about an hour and some change. You do, you know, as a unit, meaning like you go like defense with me, then we break off in indie, you know, meetings with our position groups, and then go get dressed. We go to the indoor and we go do a walkthrough. And so basically we would do a quick walkthrough, which is the same thing every Friday. And that was basically, it's like a scenario type thing. And we do call outs. So they'll call out, like they'll say, all right, you know, we're kicking off, send out the kickoff team. And then they call out like 3 or 4 or 5 names sometimes. And the backup's got to run in there. That way people know, right? And you wouldn't believe how many times we had dudes not paying attention. That's if you wanted to get in trouble, man, or get one of those coaches mad, man, if you didn't run out when they called your name, dude. Oh my God. But anyway, we do that, kind of walk through stuff. And then you go to the locker room, go change, shower, whatever you need to do, put your suit and tie, you know, all that stuff on, because we always have business attire when we travel. And so here's the food part that you're asking about. So if you're talking about this being catered, so what they would do is they would have like boxes of food, or like whether it was like a Jimmy John's box, like a Chick-fil-A box. They catered that, but it wasn't like that was like just for us to grab on the way to the bus. So we would, as we're walking out, you could grab a box of Chick-fil-A, Jimmy John, whatever it was that week, and then eat that on the bus as we get on the plane. And they had snacks on the plane and stuff too, but not like meals. And then in terms of like while we're gone, which I think what you're referring to, when you said like cater and food, so we always had the same food that we would have if we were at home. So that's why I was confused on what you're talking about. So like our meals were always the same. So when we did get to that place, no, we didn't spend our own money. In the NFL, they give you a per diem and you do spend money. We go out to eat. So like we go out to a nice steakhouse, all type of stuff. We could go eat wherever the hell we wanted to go when we traveled in the NFL. But in college, we eat at the hotel, but it's not like catered. It's what it literally was like the same. It's like the hotel has a staff and they would prepare the same food that we always ate. So Miss Amy always had the same food. It was, you know, steak, baked potato, broccoli, lasagna, grilled chicken, salad bar, number of other fruit. You know what I mean? Then there's always a dessert, man. The desserts were always hitting. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that was it. So if you're referring to that as catering, I just didn't really think of that as catering because that was just to me like they always prepared the same food. We weren't bringing food in like that. And then it was no different. The next day, pregame meals was the exact same. We always had the same thing. It was grilled chicken, steak, lasagna, vegetable. I literally like it never changed. All the food was always the same. But yeah, nah. So I mean, my go-to was always got me a steak. I always got the lasagna / spaghetti, whatever it was. I'm drawing a blank, but baked potato and some broccoli. That was pretty much I ate that every time. And then we'd have like a milkshake station at night, which was always great. But no, we did eat good. But so to answer your question, so you're not wrong. I was confused when you said catering because to me, when I hear catering, I thought you were saying like they were bringing in like outside food when we were on the road, and I was like, nah, we didn't do that. We always, bro. One thing you learn, if I don't know if it's in that documentary or what, but like when you played at Alabama under Coach Saban, I mean, when we talk about consistency, everything was the same. Like, I mean, we ate the same. Our travel was just like we didn't switch stuff up. Like, and it's probably why I'm the way I am now. Like, everything was modeled like how Coach Saban is, how we were. Like, everything routine. I mean, literally to a T. But great question. But that's always fun. And then another thing was like Saturday, we'd always do a walk. So in the morning, depending on what time we played. So if it was a really early game, obviously you're up really early, and pregame started really early. But we'll just say afternoon game, we would have like a team walk. Coach Saban really liked doing this, where we would all meet up in like the lobby of the hotel. And you guys that have probably come to the hotels, you've probably seen us do this. We would just take a stroll. Now, I don't know when he started doing this or like what, I mean, if it was just kind of just to get some fresh air to kind of get your body. I don't, it's interesting, but we used to literally meet in the lobby of the hotel, say at like, I don't know, 9:30, 10. And it was before we got into like our last meetings before we, really got ready to head to the stadium. And we would just walk. We would walk from like the lobby of the hotel, and Coach Saban would lead it. So Coach Saban and Said would be in the front. And then you'd have the leaders, the older guys, like right behind Coach Saban. We would just walk in just a line out the lobby of the hotel, like around the hotel. There'd always be a path, and we'd have our security, like police officers, block everything off so we could, literally just walk. And it was maybe like a 5-minute walk. It wasn't even a whole lot. We just like walked around the block, walked back in, and then we went to meet. And so then we had our last few meetings. Then we'd do our last little, call outs, right? Kind of walk through some plays, and we used to use chairs. So we would take the chairs from the hotel, and then we would make an offense line with those chairs. The GAs, they would be serving as like the wide receivers and stuff. And we'd have a whole little script we'd run through real quick where they would get in different formations. They would shift in motion. We had to adjust and then do all that, do our call outs, right? Everybody was communicating, right? We grab our bags, get on the bus. It was time to roll. So that was how a typical, away game looked. And we did that stuff with the home games too. We still did that. Because we used to stay in Hotel Capstone right across. We didn't stay in our dorms or the house. Even when we played at home, we had to go pack a bag and go stay at the hotel. As you can imagine, probably to keep guys out of getting into some nonsense, right? But yeah, man, that's pretty much how it looked, man. I think I got videos. I'll show y'all someday. I got a video I can show you at some point if it's doing that walk. But anyway, let's go to the phone line real quick. 205-342-9904. We got Bryce up next. Bryce, welcome in. Bryce, you there?
You there, Bryce?
Going once, twice. He might not be there. I know I have a video on here of like one of the last walks we did because it was when we were down in Miami. This was a nice walk, Chase. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one was nice because we were walking all near like this is my first time in Miami too, but like where the water is, man. Dang, it was really nice. But I know I had it on my phone somewhere because I remember I took a Snapchat and I saved it. I'm trying to pull it up so I can show you guys. But anyway, that was typically our routines for that. But yeah, we always kept everything the same. Eating at least 3 times a day. Yeah, so in terms of like schedule with that stuff, so the dining hall was open for breakfast, is open for lunch, and then there's different rules and stuff like that. I think in terms of dinner, sometimes it would be closed. So if it was closed, they would cater food to the football complex for that portion. Or sometimes I think they did used to actually just give us per diem, but it all depended, man. Where is this video? I know it was when we played Miami in excuse me, not Miami. We played Oklahoma in Miami. I know I have it on here because I remember I've seen it several times. It popped up. Dang, I'm trying to find it. I'll have to one day. I'll show you all a bunch of this stuff. I was one of those people. Matter of fact, here it is for our people on the stream. So that's literally the walk that I just was describing. I know you're probably like, what the hell are we watching? But so there's me, obviously. And I flipped the camera so coach used to just lead it, and we used to just walk. And it literally be around the block, and then in front of him was like the security guy. And they used to kind of just, I don't know, lead it off. But I got a number of things. I have to one day I'll show you guys like a number of this stuff, man. Like I used to try to have a bunch of memories. Like, matter of fact, here's us. This is when we played out in California. So this is our last game. I'm just taking a video of myself at this at the stadium before we got our ass whooped out in California. Man, I got a bunch of these things on here, but it's crazy like looking back at them because then like seeing like all the people like on the team and stuff. Like, you know what? Matter of fact, here's your lucky day from speaking of food. So the food now, in terms of catering and eating other stuff, when we were at like bowl games or like postseason stuff, that's when we mixed it up and like we would have all type of crazy stuff. So this just happened to pop up right next to that video. So when we were out in California, that's the type of food we'd be able to have. Like, and this is all like stations and stuff. So I mean, as you can see, I got tacos, I got some Asian food, looks like a steak, loaded mashed potatoes. Like, so you're right in terms of on the road in like a playoff game or like a bowl game, there was opportunities for different stuff, but just regular stuff, not so much. Then I got a lot of stuff from this Miami thing, man. That was a fun trip, but it was funny because they had us staying in they put us like out the way because. And I have to, when Ryan hops on here, I know he's been busy, but when Ryan Anderson hops on here, he'll have to explain the story because I don't know how much I could even say about this story. But when we went to Miami in 2018, they had us stay in a whole different side because the last time the team had gone to Miami back in, what was it? Was it 2012? Whenever it was when they were last in Miami. Let's just say there's some guys they got in some trouble they shouldn't have been in. So when we went years down the road, we stayed in a whole different part. They kept us in like the I don't know. We weren't in the mix. We were near like the Heat stadium though, because I actually went to a Heat game. Chase, have you been to Miami?
I have not. I always want to go though.
Dude, it's cool, man. Like I said, where we were at, we weren't really like in the mix. I remember like when we got down there, it was like my first time, and I was like trying to figure out. I'm like, dang, all right. So I've heard all this about Miami. Like, where's everything at? I'm trying to explore, just walk around, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, we'll like walk out the hotel, find some like restaurants, just walk around, see what there is. Chase, when I tell you, I was so confused. I saw like the Heat arena, but then I'm like, bro, I hear all this stuff about how crazy Miami is, this and that. I'm like, bro, all I see is like regular restaurants and stuff. I'm like, bro, this is not anything like I imagined. Then I found out we were on like the good side of things, meaning like we weren't in the mix. The last time they went, I think they stayed at they were like, where's that hotel? That popular hotel with the club underneath or whatever. They were like in that area. So as you guys can imagine, some people kind of found themselves in some situations they shouldn't have. And bro, I gotta let Ryan tell the story, man. A couple guys got sent home. I'll leave it at that. And I don't know if you guys know this. Yeah. So I guess you guys do know 2 players got sent back. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you get sent home from a bowl game, you don't get sent home like, hey, here's a nice plane ticket back. Here's your Delta flight credential. No. Nah, the dudes got a bus ticket, man. A whole damn bus ticket. They had to go home off a bus ticket. So anyway, there's so many stories like that, man. I don't know how many I could actually share on here, but maybe one day we'll dive into it. That being said, let's wrap up with this because there was the Greg McElroy video we were supposed to get to, and it's about 5 minutes, so we'll see if we can squeeze it in here. But Greg McElroy again went over his top 10 list of teams, and he ended up having Alabama. I'll go ahead and spoil this part at number 5, but we're going to listen to why he had Alabama at number 5 on his list of top teams going into the 2025 season. So here we go.
Now, here's what I love. I love the wide receivers in the secondary. It's very, very simple. And I think if you look at both collectively, it could have a top 5 wide receiver group in America and a top 5 secondary by season's end. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, in the secondary if they're in the top 2, maybe the top 3, maybe even the top spot overall. They have so much experience back there, and they have so much talent in the back end defensively. Let's start with the wide receivers, though. Position of flanker, Z, strong side wide receiver. That's exactly where he can really excel to the point in which he becomes a multi-time All-American in his first 2 years. Traditional X position where he's going to be the weak side isolation wide receiver. He's a matchup problem. Isaiah Horton is now that guy, which allows Jeremy Bernard slide more into the slot and kind of be a versatile piece that can motion, that can give you the jet sweep, that can line up in the backfield, slide out to the slot, and create a matchup problem. Those 3 by themselves have a chance to be one of the best trios in all of college football. Then you look at some of the depth that they have. You got Cole Adams. He's back from injury, should be a really solid slot receiver. They love Jalen Hale. And there's tons of buzz about a redshirt freshman named Rico Scott, who a lot of people believe is on the cusp of a potential breakout year. So you can go 5, 6, 7 deep at wide receiver for Alabama and whoever their quarterback ends up being. But on the other side of the ball in the secondary, man, last year, this was the biggest question mark on the entire roster. Now it's probably their biggest strength. You bring back Damani Jackson, who had a chance to go pro, decided to return. You bring back Bray Hubbard, who had a breakthrough year last year because when Keon Sabb got hurt, Bray Hubbard stepped in, had a highly productive season there as a first-year starter. Keon Sabb is now back healthy. He played most of the year last year with an injured foot. He ends up breaking that foot against Tennessee and was lost for the year. But the fact that he played most of last season on one leg tells you what this guy might be capable of. And then Zabian Brown, who had a really good freshman year, could take a big leap as a lockdown corner. You add.
So we're going to end right there because I know we got to get out of here and make room for T-Town Sports Daily coming up next. But as you heard, Greg McElroy's got Alabama number 5 in his top 10 list. Loves wide receivers and secondary. And just to finish what he was going to say, I forgot what his whole thing was. I think it was depth. He said depth is his concern with this team. He wants to see what the depth looks like, knowing that could come into play later on throughout the year. That being said, we got to get out of here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys enjoy y'all's weekend. Get some nice sun. It's nice and sunny outside. Hope you guys, had a great week this week. And we'll see you guys Monday when we hop back on here. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll see you guys then.